Good afternoon, everyone. It is got some crappy weather outside, but so we're going to talk a little bit of women's NCAA basketball. What we'll do real quick is we will recap the action from Sunday and Monday in the Elite Eight games, and then we will look ahead to the Final Four this weekend. So jumping over here, taking a quick jump back in time, easy for me to say. We'll start with the Sunday games. First up was South Carolina versus Oregon State. I believe that's a rematch from last year as well. South Carolina won that one by 12. They're still undefeated. They're still crushing everybody. They're looking to be every bit the national title contenders that everybody kind of expects them. They advanced to the Final Four. They are going to play. They are going to face NC State, who upset number one seed Texas. They beat them by 10. NC State plays a really aggressive style of defense, and that's what they used to shut down Texas there on Sunday. So so that is how they got there and advanced. Then Monday night was the mother of all women's college basketball games here, at least this week for now. First up, we got the rematch from last year's title game between LSU and Iowa. Iowa won 94-87, beating out LSU. Caitlin Clark had 41 of those 94 points. No surprise there, leading the Hawkeyes into another Final Four. Angel Reese also declared this morning for the WNBA draft. So she will be drafted. She's going to be drafted probably very early on in the WNBA draft. That's going to be here in a couple of weeks. And then in the nightcap, if you managed to stay up late for this game, and I actually ended up staying up the whole night, was UConn. It was an upset, though. UConn was clearly kind of the better squad on the floor. UConn ended up winning 80-73. Very good game. Paige Beckers put up 28 and 10 and 6 in that game, showing out to be one of the best players in America, which is no surprise for anybody. Juju Watkins had 28 points and 10 rebounds, solidifying herself as the best freshman in America. But that was a great game as well. Obviously, all the eyes were on LSU and Iowa. 12.3 million views. Number there, and then they ended up being tied at halftime. So it was every bit the game that everybody kind of expected. So that leads us into this weekend's games. First up on, I believe it is Friday, we will have the first. No, I believe they're both playing. Yeah, they're both playing Friday. So what we will have then is we will have Carolina, NC State. Again, NC State plays that really rugged defense. They're going to slow down, I think, South Carolina's ability to get out and run. I still see this as South Carolina's game, though. Camila Cardozo is their best player. She's their post. I believe she goes about 6'7". She is also declared for the WNBA draft, so she will be drafted probably very highly. Mock drafts I've seeing her go number 4 overall. Is kind of being where she is being mocked. But that's going to be a very good game there on Friday night. That's going to be at 6 o'clock Central. Definitely going to be a competitive game, I think, for that one. I see South Carolina winning that one, but I see NC State holding that close well into the fourth quarter. The nightcap at 8 o'clock that night, then obviously in terms of local interest, will UConn and Iowa. Two of the biggest stars, the biggest names in women's college basketball, and Paige Beckers and Iowa squaring off. Gino Auriemma obviously is the UConn coach. He is a legend out there as well. So if it gets down to kind of tactical situations, have to give the edge to Gino in there. Not that Lisa Bluder isn't an amazing coach, but Gino's been doing it for a million years in there. I would like to see the Hawkeyes advance. I've got a feeling that it will be UConn taking that game. They're simply, as Stacey King would say, too big, too strong, too fast, and too good. They only play about 7 players. Sometimes they only go 6, but they are though that top 7 is as good as you're going to find anywhere in the country, led by, again, by Paige Beckers and Aaliyah Edwards. Their point guard, I can't remember, I believe Nika Mule, I believe is her name. She actually ended up being, she's actually UConn's all-time leading assist, holds the record for all-time leading assists. And when you think of the names that have come through that program in terms of like Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird, for her to be the all-time leading assist person is amazing. So I think Iowa's going to have their hands full. Again, like we said last week, though, as long as you've got Caitlin Clark, you always got that puncher's chance. But they are going to need to find a way to kind of mitigate UConn's kind of ability to score. Anybody can score, and everybody plays really solid defense. They don't make mistakes. Like, you have to be on your A game in order to beat them. So I actually foresee a title game then on Sunday of South Carolina and UConn. That would be that's kind of the way that I see those matchups. So which definitely means that we're getting NC State and Iowa. But I think South Carolina is too good. They've just got too many people. I think of the broadcast this week that said that they don't have a starting 5, they have a starting 10. Like, they are just deep. Everybody on there could be a starter from just about every team in the country. So South Carolina is a very, very good team, kind of top to bottom, obviously led by Dawn Staley, who's one of the best coaches in the country. Not to shortchange NC State, but I just don't think. I think at this point they just lack the firepower to deal with kind of South Carolina. They can just, somebody gets in foul trouble, they just roll kind of out the next person in there. Again, in the nightcap, that UConn Iowa game, I can see that being close. But again, UConn just has too many weapons, too many people who can score in too many multitude of ways, and they just don't beat themselves. They're very much the prime New England Patriots from back in the day of they didn't beat you, you beat you. So if Iowa gets in foul trouble or they just have a cold shooting night or whatever, UConn's just going to they just keep coming at you relentlessly. So that is where I see that. Then the game Sunday, then if it is South Carolina, Connecticut will be kind of an all-timer, I think. That depth of South Carolina where they just roll 10 deep versus the 7 deep of UConn. It'll basically then be, whoever maybe has the ball last possession type thing in there. But I think we are set up for an excellent weekend of women's hoops. That is what we are looking at today. That is what we had on the agenda. So thank you very much for tuning in. We will see you guys next time. Otherwise, enjoy your week. Make sure that you like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.